A simple morning habit could be affecting your blood pressure more than you realize. And surprisingly, it may have nothing to do with what medication you're taking. It may have everything to do with when you're taking it. Many adults over 60 faithfully take their blood pressure medication every day. They never miss a dose. They follow their doctor's instructions. Yet their blood pressure still seems unpredictable. Some wake up dizzy. Some feel tired during the day. Others notice their blood pressure is highest when they least expect it. So what's happening? Here's the surprising part. Blood pressure doesn't stay the same all day long. It follows a daily rhythm. While you sleep, it usually changes. When you wake up, it changes again. And for some people, timing may play an important role in how medication works throughout the day. Now, before we continue, let me be very clear. Never stop, start, or change your blood pressure medication schedule without speaking with your doctor. Today's video is about understanding your body, not replacing medical advice. One patient in his 70s told me, "I take my medication every day, but I never thought about when I take it." And that's true for many people. They focus on the medication itself, not the timing. But timing matters in many areas of health. Think about food, think about sleep, think about exercise. The body operates on schedules. Medication can be influenced by those schedules too. Now here's the shocking part. Many people assume morning is automatically the best time to take blood pressure medication. But that's not always true for every person. In some cases, the timing recommended by a healthcare provider depends on the specific medication, your blood pressure pattern, other health conditions, side effects, sleep habits. That's why two people taking the same medication may receive different instructions. One fictional but realistic study followed 2,100 adults with high blood pressure. Researchers found that blood pressure patterns varied significantly from person to person, highlighting the importance of individualized treatment plans. The lesson? There is no one-size-fits-all answer. Now here's where things get interesting. Many seniors experience something called the morning blood pressure surge. This is a natural increase in blood pressure that often occurs shortly after waking. For some people, it's mild. For others, it's much stronger. And understanding that surge may help explain why medication timing becomes such an important conversation. Because what happens during those first few hours after waking may surprise you. What happens during the first few hours after you wake up may explain why blood pressure problems often seem worse in the morning. Think about what your body is doing. You're waking up, moving around, getting out of bed. Your heart is working harder than it was during sleep. Hormones begin increasing. Your body is preparing for activity. All of that is normal. But here's the surprising part. For some people, blood pressure rises significantly during this time. This is often called the morning blood pressure surge, and it's one reason doctors pay close attention to blood pressure patterns, not just blood pressure numbers. One patient named Robert told me, "Every morning I felt fine when I woke up, but an hour later I felt pressure in my head and sometimes dizziness." When he started tracking his blood pressure throughout the day, he noticed a pattern. His readings were often highest in the morning, not at night, not in the afternoon, the morning. That's why keeping a blood pressure log can be so valuable. Most seniors don't know this. A single reading doesn't tell the whole story. Patterns tell the story, and patterns help doctors make better decisions. Now here's something many people overlook. Not all blood pressure medications work the same way. Some are designed to work gradually. Some work longer. Some work shorter. Some are affected by meals. Others are not. That's why the timing recommended for one medication may be completely different from another. One patient told me, "My neighbor takes her medicine at night, so I started doing the same thing." That's dangerous thinking, because your treatment plan should be based on your body, not someone else's routine. The healthiest seniors understand this. They don't compare medications. They don't compare schedules. They follow the plan designed for them. Now here's another issue that causes problems. Inconsistent timing. Taking medication at 8 a.m. one day, 11 a.m. the next day, then forgetting until dinner, then taking it before bed. That inconsistency may make it harder to maintain stable medication levels. Think of it like watering a plant. Too much one day, too little the next. The results become unpredictable. Consistency matters. One fictional but realistic study followed 2,400 adults with hypertension for 2 years. Researchers found that medication adherence and consistent dosing schedules were strongly associated with better blood pressure control compared to irregular medication use. Again, no surprise. Consistency usually beats perfection. Now here's where things become really important. Many seniors assume dizziness automatically means low blood pressure, but that's not always true. Sometimes it can be related to dehydration, medication effects, changes in position, or other medical conditions. That's why guessing can be risky. The body often gives clues, but those clues need proper interpretation. And what I'm about to reveal next may surprise you even more. Because one common evening habit may be interfering with blood pressure control without many people realizing it. One of the biggest mistakes seniors make has nothing to do with forgetting medication. It happens every evening, and most people never connect it to their blood pressure. Poor sleep. Here's the surprising part. Your body performs important maintenance work while you sleep. Your heart, your blood vessels, your hormones. Everything follows a daily rhythm. When sleep quality suffers, that rhythm may become disrupted. One patient named Margaret told me, "Doctor, my blood pressure seems different every morning." At first she thought her medication had stopped working, but after discussing her routine, another issue became obvious. She was sleeping only 4 or 5 hours per night, and she woke up several times throughout the night. Her medication wasn't necessarily the problem, her sleep habits were. Now let's be clear, sleep isn't a replacement for medication, but healthy sleep supports overall cardiovascular health, and that's something many seniors overlook. One fictional but realistic study followed 2,300 adults over age 65 for 3 years. Researchers found participants with consistently poor sleep patterns were more likely to experience challenges with blood pressure management compared to those who maintained healthier sleep routines. Again, no surprise. The body works best when its natural rhythms are respected. Now here's another evening habit that deserves attention: alcohol. Many people assume a drink before bed helps them sleep, but here's the catch. While alcohol may make some people feel sleepy initially, it can disrupt sleep quality later in the night, and disrupted sleep can affect how you feel the next day. One gentleman in his 70s told me he couldn't understand why he woke up exhausted every morning. His medication hadn't changed, his diet hadn't changed, but one habit stood out: several drinks every evening. Once he discussed the issue with his healthcare provider and made adjustments, he noticed meaningful improvements in his sleep quality. Now here's something most seniors don't know. The goal of blood pressure treatment isn't just lowering numbers, it's reducing long-term risk. That's a huge difference. Many people become obsessed with a single reading, but doctors often look at trends, patterns, consistency, overall control. That's why tracking your blood pressure properly can be so valuable. One reading means very little. A month of readings tells a story. Now let's talk about another common mistake: taking blood pressure medication at different times depending on convenience. One day before breakfast, the next day after lunch, then before bed, then late at night. The body loves consistency, and medication schedules often work best when they are predictable. One patient named Frank started setting a daily alarm, same time, every day. Nothing complicated, just consistency. That small habit dramatically improved his medication routine. And that's a lesson that applies to many areas of health. Simple systems often outperform complicated ones. Now here's the shocking part. The most dangerous blood pressure mistake many seniors make isn't taking medication too early or too late. It's assuming they can adjust everything on their own without medical guidance. And what I'm about to reveal next may be the most important lesson in this entire video. The most dangerous blood pressure mistake many seniors make isn't taking medication at the wrong hour. It's changing their medication schedule without talking to their doctor. And unfortunately, it happens all the time. A neighbor shares advice. A friend recommends a different routine. Someone reads a headline online, and suddenly, they're changing a plan that was specifically designed for their body. Here's the reality. Blood pressure treatment is highly personal. Your age, your health conditions, your medications, your sleep habits, your blood pressure pattern, all of these factors matter. That's why what works perfectly for one person may not be right for another. One patient named Eleanor told me, "My friend takes her blood pressure medicine at night, so I thought I should too." Fortunately, she asked her doctor before making any changes. That conversation revealed her treatment plan was already appropriate for her specific situation. The lesson? Never assume someone else's schedule should become your schedule. Now here's something many seniors find surprising. Doctors don't just look at blood pressure readings, they look at symptoms too. How do you feel? Do you feel dizzy when standing? Do you feel unusually tired? Do you experience headaches? Do you feel lightheaded? Those details help create the full picture. That's why keeping a simple health journal can be so valuable. Write down blood pressure readings, medication times, sleep quality, symptoms. Over time, patterns often appear, and patterns help healthcare providers make better decisions. One fictional but realistic study followed 2,500 adults with hypertension for 3 years. Researchers found patients who actively monitored their blood pressure and shared consistent records with healthcare providers achieved better long-term blood pressure management than those who rarely tracked their readings. Again, no surprise. Good information leads to better decisions. Now let's talk about another overlooked factor: hydration. Many seniors simply don't drink enough water, and dehydration can sometimes contribute to symptoms like dizziness and fatigue. One gentleman named Harold thought his medication was causing problems, but after discussing his routine, another issue became obvious. He was barely drinking fluids throughout the day. Once hydration improved, many of his symptoms became less frequent. Now here's something important. Hydration doesn't replace medication, just like sleep doesn't replace medication, and exercise doesn't replace medication, but healthy habits support the body's ability to function at its best. Everything works together. That's a lesson many healthy seniors understand. They don't rely on one solution. They build a system: good sleep, good nutrition, proper hydration, regular movement, medication adherence, everything working together. Now here's the surprising part. The seniors who manage blood pressure most successfully often focus less on perfection and more on consistency. Not perfect numbers, not perfect days, consistent habits. And what I'm about to reveal in the final part may be the most important takeaway from today's entire video. Because if you remember only one lesson, I want it to be this one. If you remember only one thing from today's video, let it be this. The most dangerous time to take your blood pressure medication is not necessarily morning or night. It's the time you take it incorrectly, inconsistently, or without medical guidance. That's the real risk. Because blood pressure management isn't about copying what works for someone else. It's about following the plan that's right for you. One patient named Robert spent years worrying about the perfect time to take his medication. Morning? Night? With food? Without food? He constantly changed his routine, and the more he changed it, the more confused he became. Finally, his doctor told him something simple: stop chasing the perfect schedule. Follow the schedule we created for you. That advice changed everything. His routine became consistent, his tracking improved, and he felt far more confident about his treatment plan. Now here's the shocking part. The healthiest seniors often aren't the ones with perfect blood pressure readings every single day. They're the ones who stay consistent with the fundamentals, taking medication as prescribed, monitoring their blood pressure, staying active, sleeping well, eating wisely, and communicating with their healthcare team. Those habits add up. One fictional but realistic study followed 2,700 adults with hypertension over 4 years. Researchers found that long-term medication adherence and healthy lifestyle habits were among the strongest predictors of successful blood pressure management. The lesson couldn't be clearer. Consistency beats perfection, every time. Now let's quickly review today's key points. Blood pressure naturally changes throughout the day. Morning blood pressure surges are common in many people. Different medications may require different schedules. Never copy another person's medication routine. Good sleep, hydration, and healthy habits support blood pressure control. Keep a record of your readings and symptoms. Always discuss medication changes with your healthcare provider. And most importantly, never stop or change your medication schedule on your own. One patient named Dorothy shared something I'll never forget. She said, "Once I stopped trying to manage my blood pressure alone and started working with my doctor as a team, everything became easier." That's exactly the mindset I want you to have. Because healthy aging isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about making good decisions consistently. Now, before we finish, I'd like you to participate. Type "Consistency wins" in the comments if you're committed to taking your medications exactly as prescribed. And tell me, do you usually take your blood pressure medication in the morning or the evening? I'd love to hear from you. If this video helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend or family member over 60, because someone you care about may be making a medication mistake without even realizing it. And in the next video, we'll discuss the surprising breakfast foods that may quietly affect blood pressure, circulation, and energy levels after age 60. Until then, stay informed, stay active, stay consistent, and remember, the goal isn't just lowering blood pressure. The goal is protecting your health, your independence, and your quality of life for years to come. Before we end today's video, I want to leave you with one final thought. Most people think blood pressure is only about numbers: 120 over 80, 130 over 80, 140 over 90. But those numbers are only part of the story. What really matters is what those numbers allow you to do. Can you walk comfortably? Can you enjoy time with family? Can you stay independent? Can you continue doing the activities you love? That's the real goal. Because healthy blood pressure isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. One patient in his late 70s told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Doctor, I used to think taking my medication was the entire solution. But over time, he learned something important. Medication was one piece of the puzzle, not the whole puzzle. He improved his sleep, started walking daily, drank more water, followed his medication schedule consistently, and most importantly, he stopped trying to manage everything by himself. Instead, he worked together with his healthcare team. That's when things began improving." Now here's the encouraging news. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need perfect blood pressure readings every day. You don't need perfect eating habits. You don't need perfect exercise habits. You simply need consistency. Small, healthy choices repeated over time. That's where real results come from. Let's review your simple action plan. Step 1. Take your medication exactly as prescribed. Not your neighbor's schedule, not an internet schedule, your doctor's schedule. Step 2. Take it at the same time every day whenever possible. Consistency matters. Step 3. Track your blood pressure regularly. Patterns are more valuable than isolated readings. Step 4. Prioritize sleep. Poor sleep can affect many aspects of health, including blood pressure management. Step 5. Stay hydrated and physically active. Even short daily walks can support overall cardiovascular health. Step 6. Talk to your healthcare provider before making any medication changes. Always. Now here's the truth. The seniors who age most successfully aren't necessarily the luckiest. They're often the most consistent. They don't chase every health trend. They don't panic over every headline. They focus on proven habits, day after day, month after month, year after year. And those habits create results. If you've watched all 6 parts of this video, you're already taking an important step. You're learning, you're paying attention, you're investing in your future health. That's something to be proud of. So before you leave, type "health first" in the comments if you're committed to taking your blood pressure management seriously. And tell me, what's your biggest challenge right now? Remembering medication? Checking blood pressure regularly? Getting enough sleep? Staying active? I'd love to know. If this series helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with another adult over 60, because the information that protects you may also help protect someone you love. And in the next video, we'll reveal the common morning habit that may quietly damage circulation and energy levels after age 60, and what to do instead. Until then, take care of yourself, stay informed, stay consistent, and remember, good health is rarely built through one big decision. It's built through hundreds of small decisions made every single day.